Alright, son, it's Christmas Day, so it's about time I give you your Christmas gift. Thanks, Dad! Is this a 50mm f1.8 prime lens? Hello everyone, and welcome back to another photography video on this Tech Destruction channel. Today I'd like to talk about vintage lenses and why they suck. Maybe you're kind of a hobbyist photographer and you don't want to put too much money into your hobby because you don't know how long you're going to have it. So vintage lenses are a great option if you don't want to spend money on a brand new lens. But trying to cut costs does come with a consequence. So in today's video we're going to be talking about those consequences. Wait, I don't see any pins in there. I thought I asked for an autofocus lens for Christmas. Guess this'll have to do. The main disadvantage to using vintage lenses for photos is that they're all manual focus. Using manual focus instead of autofocus definitely does add a more challenging aspect to photography. Taking photos of a moving object would require you to be a manual focus master. I myself have taken multiple pictures with this vintage lens, and every time I've tried to take a picture of a moving object, it's always just slightly out of focus. An advantage that most DSLRs have nowadays is focus peaking. What this does is add a colored outline to anything that's in focus in your photo. If you use a mirrorless camera, focus peaking is going to be a lifesaver for getting good photos out of one of these lenses. Focus peaking has a lot of issues with low aperture lenses though. The outline might show up on something that you think is in focus, but when you review the photo later, it'll be out of focus. I swear it was in focus on the camera. Maybe I can get this shot to look nice. Probably the most unavoidable problem with vintage lenses is chromatic aberration and fringing. That right there is fringing. Typically, chromatic aberration begins to appear when you put a dark subject against a bright background. Of course, your mileage with fringing may vary depending on what lens you have. For example, here's a photo taken on a Canon zoom lens, and here's a photo taken on a Pentax zoom lens. Well, this thing sucks. While manual focus can be mastered, it's pretty hard to change fringing. Ugh, what is with all that fringing? Guess this lens is a piece of garbage. But Andrew, why don't you use software to get rid of chromatic aberration and fringing? It didn't fix the image. So are there any reasons to actually use a vintage lens? Well, as I said earlier, they're a great budget option. Just make your way onto eBay and find one of these things for cheap. Or make your way into the closet and pull out that old film camera. Then, using the power of a lens adapter, you can put that old lens onto your new camera. Most vintage lenses also have a pretty decent aperture. Since they don't have to shove all the automatic stuff in there, they have enough space to put more glass in. So you're able to get more of that soft, creamy bokeh in your photo. Those are really about all the good things I can say about vintage lenses. Big thanks to everyone who watched this video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And of course, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Bye! Another consequence to vintage lenses that I decided not to add to the video was that dynamic range just seems awful. I'm honestly not sure if that's because of my lenses or not, but I've only ever noticed awful dynamic range while using a vintage lens. I didn't have any good enough examples though, and winter is definitely in full swing right now, so I don't feel like going outside to take pictures. Also, I really do apologize for not releasing a video last week. I kind of beat myself up over it actually. I intended to get this video released last week, but I really just let the time slip by me. I guess I've just been spending time on things I find more important to me, and I've also just not had a lot of time in general. PSA, high school gives homework. And I'm also kind of just like out of video ideas, and I just feel like I want to spend my time doing other things than YouTube right now. So I really do apologize for taking almost 2 weeks to make a 3-minute long video.